There is no such thing as in Bitcoin. Bitcoin is a database.
Humanity
What
should
people in the
always
Bitcoin
question everything.
what people in that so-called
Humanity.
Bitcoin community think is what they believe. Other
Even if it
people
doesn't
from
go
other,
outside of those people's
Can
conversation,
I speak?
and that's where, again, like, because you've said a couple times, you feel that someone's implying that the business then needs to change itself. I don't think that, and I don't think anyone else here thinks that either. I think that people just want to know the truth about something so that they can
well,
understand it properly.
people want to know the truth about something is perfectly fine.
Can I
There's
go?
nothing wrong with that. But what I'm saying is that this communist idea that there's a Bitcoin community, a monolithic Bitcoin thing where uh, anywhere somebody's doing something anywhere in the world, the so-called Bitcoin community can pull it apart and make accusations and stuff. I don't agree with that. I'm not a
No,
communist.
nobody wants to pull
So,
anything apart and
you
make
know,
accusations. I think people just want to understand. It's
well,
like
if
You
they want to
gotta be able
if
understand
to
I'm
something,
handle.
looking at
You
if
gotta
they
be able
want
to
to
handle
understand,
if I'm
criticism,
looking
bro.
at Beautyon, if I'm looking at Azteco and I'm looking at any other competing service in the market that it's in, I want to understand what the difference between these things are. I want to
well,
know
this is
what
this is
what
this
one
is
thing does and what the other thing does.
exactly
I think
this
that's
is
natural.
that's natural for you. What these services do that serve the ordinary person, the person who's not a Bitcoiner, they are dealing with a constituency that's completely alien to this so-called community. And
Yeah,
so
but I don't agree
you
with that
might want
either. I've been in
look,
Africa. Okay, I've been
you
all
might.
over the
It's not a
world.
question of.
I
It's not a question of what you agree with or not. The vast majority of people are not part of the Bitcoin community. That's where the money is. That's where the problem that we're solving is. And so the Bitcoin
I'm
community
someone
can.
who says that there is no Bitcoin community, and I really do
Well,
believe
I'm
that.
very well. Well done. You have my approval for saying that. Don't act like there is a Bitcoin community, and don't say the community can say X, Y, Z about anything, because if there is no community, it can't say
No,
anything.
I think human beings. Let me be clear. Human
So now,
beings
now we're
ought
expanding it
to.
to human beings.
Can I
Okay.
please?
Yeah, I think the world is full of deception, and people should be in a skeptical stance when they approach anything new, and they should ask questions that will help them understand better what they're looking at.
Well, the thing is, you might think that, but when in normal circumstances, when you go buy a bottle of orange juice or whatever it is, the position is not skepticism out of the box.
This is
This is
money.
that's an abnormal way of looking at the market, and you are, of course, at liberty to think like that.
Yeah, and even oranges.
Other people who are trying to serve the public with this fantastic new facility are not helped by this Carl Sagan skepticism attitude, which is very, very bad. Now, obviously, there are Ethereums and people that cause trouble, and of course, you should be skeptical of those things. But when somebody new arrives, when something new comes on the scene, which can cause a very big change, if you apply those same rules, that same rigid thinking, you're going to cause a problem and cause people who are sole developers doing what they think is right just because they think it's right to say, why should I do this? Why should I bother being attacked by somebody from America in the middle of Portland, Oregon, or wherever it is? Because it's just not worth my while. If you want people to continue doing this, you need to think about how you interact with them. Think about the things you say about them and stop thinking everything is a scam. Everything is not a scam. Everybody's not a scammer. Everybody's not a criminal. You need to grow up and start to think about what this problem is and how it's going to be actually solved. It's not going to be
Sounds
solved
like
with
you're
Twitter
saying
space.
don't question anything and
No,
So
just shut up.
at
no,
the
I'm
end of
not
the day,
saying
can
that.
I please, you know,
I'm saying that people are trying to do something. They're trying to make services that help other people. And if the only way you have to interact with other people is with skepticism, the problem is with you, not with them.
The problem is asking questions. Is that the problem? Is that an attack?
The problem is asking questions from the point of view that everybody's a scammer.
How
That's
do we
mental
come to
don't
illness.
eye to
trust
eye on things
everybody.
without conversation and asking questions?
So at the end
Well,
of the day,
and also what's so very irritating about this attitude is that the people who are asking these questions, which is actually why they're so irrelevant, is that they're not going to
Irrelevant.
ever use, they're not ever going to use these services. They are inside the Bitcoin community bubble, spaces bubble, where they just talk to each other. They're not out in the real world serving people, helping people. The
Who's
most they can
they?
do, the most they can do is put a GitHub repo with unfinished software on it, whereas other people are actually interacting with the real problem of getting Bitcoin into people's hands. And so the reality is that the people who are doing things are going to do things, and the people who don't do things are not going to do things. I'm just saying this to you so you can understand that your thinking is wrong and you need to think twice before you say these things.
If I may just quickly, I wanted to comment on a comment that was made. Was it you who said that Bitcoin was a database? Because it truly is an ecosystem. It's a complete ecosystem. I find that a little bit distracting to the nature of really what Bitcoin is. It's a complete ecosystem, not just a database.
When you say that Bitcoin is an ecosystem, that's the effect of Bitcoin. That's